Welcome back, kindergarten, to another story time. I hope that you guys are having an amazing week so far, and I hope you enjoy the beautiful weather that we are having outside. It is so sunny today, so I hope you guys go outside and enjoy that today. I'm going to be reading another story that was one of my favorites when I was a little child again, so I hope that you guys can enjoy it too, and it's called Scuffy the Tugboat. Scuffy was sad. Scuffy was cross. Scuffy sniffed his blue smokestack. "A toy store is no place for a red-painted tugboat," said Scuffy, and he sniffed his blue smokestack again. "I was meant for bigger things." "Perhaps you would not be cross if we went sailing," said the man with the polka-dotted tie who owned the shop. So one night he took Scuffy home to his little boy. He filled the bathtub with water. "Sail, little tugboat," said the little boy. "I won't sail in a bathtub," said Scuffy. "A tub is no place for a red-painted tugboat. I was meant for bigger things." So the next day the man with the polka-dotted tie and his little boy carried Scuffy to a laughing brook that started high in the hills. "Sail, little tugboat," said the man with the polka-dotted tie. Scuffy floated on a ruffle of the brook, and he saw above him the smiling faces of the man with the polka-dot tie and his little boy. It was spring, and the brook was full to the brim with its water, and the water moved in a hurry, as all things move in a hurry when it is springtime. Scuffy was in a hurry, too. "Come back, little tugboat, come back!" cried the little boy as the hurrying, brimful brook carried Scuffy downstream. "Not I," tooted Scuffy, "not I! This is the life for me." All day that day, Scuffy sailed along with the brook, past the meadows filled with cowslips, past the women washing clothes on the bank, past the little woods filled with violets. Cows came to the brook to drink. They stood in the cool water, and it was fun to sail between their legs and bump softly into their noses. It was fun to see them drink. But when a white and brown cow almost drank Scuffy instead of the brook's cool water, Scuffy was frightened. That was not fun. Night came, and with it came the moon. There was nothing to see but the quiet trees. "This is nice," thought Scuffy. "I like this. I like the night." Suddenly an owl called out, "Hoot, hoot! Toot, toot!" cried the frightened tugboat, and he wished he could see the smiling face of the man with the polka-dotted tie. When morning came and the sun danced on the brook again, Scuffy was cross instead of frightened. "A brook is no place for a red-painted tugboat," said Scuffy. "I was meant for bigger things." Around a bend and past the small woods the brook ran, and then there was another brook. "Oh no," thought Scuffy. "What happens now? Which way do I want to go?" But there was only one way to go, and that was with the running water where the two brooks met. He was proud when he sailed past villages. "People build villages at the edge of my river," said Scuffy, and he straightened his blue smokestack. Once Scuffy's river joined a small one jammed with logs. Here there were men with heavy jackets and great boots walking upon floating logs, trying to pry them free. "Toot, toot, let me through," demanded Scuffy, but the men paid no attention to him. They pushed the logs apart so they would drift with the river toward the sawmill in town. Scuffy bumped along with the jostling logs. "Ouch!" he cried as two logs bumped together. "This is a fine river," said Scuffy, "but it's very, very busy and very big for me." He was proud when he sailed under bridges. "My river is so wide and so deep that people must build bridges to cross it." The river moved through big towns now instead of villages, and the bridges over it were very wide enough that so that many cars and trucks and streetcars could cross all at once. The river got deeper and deeper. Scuffy did not have to tuck up his bottom. The river moved faster and faster. "I feel like a train instead of a tugboat," said Scuffy as he hurried along. He was proud when he passed the old sawmill with its water wheel. So here are the towns that he's traveling through. But high in the hills and the mountains, the winter snow melted. Water filled the brooks and rushed from there into small rivers. Faster and faster it flowed to the great river where Scuffy sailed. "There is too much water in this river," said Scuffy as he pitched and tossed on the waves. "Soon it will splash over the top, and what a flood there will be!" Soon great armies of men came to save the fields and towns from the rushing water. They filled bags with sand and put them at the edge of the river. "They're making higher banks for the river," Scuffy shouted, "to hold the water back." The water rose higher and higher, and the men built sandbags higher and higher, and higher, higher went the river, higher went the sandbags. At last the water rose no more. The flood water rushed into the sea, and Scuffy raced along with the flood. The people and fields and towns were safe. On went the river to the sea. At last Scuffy sailed into a big city. Here the river widened, and all about were docks and wharves. Oh, it was a busy place and a noisy place. The cranes groaned as they swung the cargoes into the great ships. The porters shouted as they carried suitcases and boxes on board. Horses stamped and truck motors roared. Streetcars clanged and people shouted. Scuffy said, "Toot, toot," but nobody noticed. Do you think this is meant the place where a little sailboat is meant to be? Probably not. The whistle blew, policemen's whistles, train whistles, deep whistles from the great ships as the gangplanks were pulled in, and just beyond lay the sea. "Oh, oh," cried Scuffy when he saw the sea. "There is no end to the sea. I wish I could find the man with the polka dot tie and his little boy." Just as the red-painted tugboat sailed past the last piece of land, a hand reached out and picked him up, and there was the man with the polka-dotted tie and his little boy beside him. Sorry, there's a little bit of a marker mark. I'm not sure what happened. Scuffy is home now with the man with the polka dot tie and his little boy. He sails from one end of the bathtub to the other. "This is the place for a red-painted tugboat," says Scuffy, "and this is the life for me." All right, so he wanted to see the world. He wanted to go to big places, but really the best place for him was a small little bathtub where he could be safe. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that story. I hope you guys have a great day. I love you and I miss you.